Ladies and gentlemen, a very good morning. Welcome to Washington, D.C., the House of Representatives and the Subcommittee on Early Childhood, Elementary, and Secondary Education. We're glad to have you here. This meeting is hereby called to order, and without objection, the chair is authorized to call a recess at any time. That recess is going to come really close to probably 11 o'clock. The subcommittee hearing today is to hear testimony to examine the prevalence of inappropriate content in libraries in schools. The Biden administration is troubling response and state and local level solutions. Before I get started, I need to make a disclaimer. If you're watching at home or if you're in this committee room, we are going to be handling some very sensitive, mature issues today. We will be discussing widely inappropriate books that are accessible in school libraries. This content is uncomfortable for members of Congress, and it's certainly inappropriate for young children. As such, the committee recommends anyone with small children in the audience, or if you're watching on C-SPAN, or if this is a tape recording, you're watching it, you just want to reconsider young people watching this meeting. Additionally, children should not watch at home. We're holding this hearing to help ensure that young children are never exposed to this type of graphic content, not to further expose them to it. With that warning out of the way, welcome. We're glad to have you here. We got some great witnesses. I've met with some of you this morning. I think we're going to have a great chat, a great discussion as we go forward on this hearing. Like every flashpoint in America's culture war, the media has distorted the truth and fueled public outrage and discontent. Today, this committee will set the record straight with the American people. Inappropriate books in school libraries and local communities are within their right to remove them. Some of my colleagues on the other side of the aisle will inevitably accuse Republicans of engaging in widespread campaign to ban books. You'll hear that term today, ban books. What does that mean? And what are we doing to ban books? Because of animus or prejudice against LGBT students. However, the evidence suggests books are being removed for no other reason than it's just inappropriate. It's explicit content. In fact, 7 of the 10 most frequently removed books feature explicit heterosexual content. Additionally, the LGBT books are being challenged by parents such as Lawn Boy and Gender Queer. They're so sexually explicit that their respective authors have advised that nobody below a teenager is ready for these books. I don't recommend this book to kids. That's what the author has said. These books are so obscene that reciting mere passages, has gotten adults censored in adult forums. School board officials in Clay County, Florida, had to cut a microphone. A father who was talking about reading from the book that his daughter had access to for reading Lucky, for fear the explicit passages was violate the FCC laws regarding, since the school board meeting was being televised. Late night television refused to air an ad featuring language from Gender Queer. If these books are too inappropriate for adults, then they are certainly inappropriate for children. The committee will ask ourselves today, do communities have the right to remove inappropriate content from library shelves? Of course they do. School boards, communities, and parents constantly set standards of decency. But removing a book from a library shelf is not akin to pouring gasoline on it and setting it ablaze. It's not criminalizing the ownership of the book. It's not even making them less accessible. If you can check out a book from a public library, it's not banned. If you can order a book from Amazon and have it delivered to your home the next day, it's not banned. In fact, the most removed books are still wildly popular on Amazon. Age-appropriate content moderation by local school officials in the districts is a right deeply ingrained in the principles of localism and federalism. Federalizing the book review process by putting it in the hands of D.C. bureaucrats, thereby taking parents out of the equation, would be the worst possible solution. Yet that's exactly what the Biden administration is doing. President Biden appointed a book review czar to monitor the actions of local school boards and potentially penalize them for simply reviewing books. I see this as a dangerous step and a violation of federal principles. Today's hearing should not be about creating more bureaucrats or more laws or scoring cheap political points, but how to best empower parents to be the greatest possible advocate for their child's education. My final appeal goes to parents. Keep demanding that your school board reflect the values of your communities. Keep involving yourself in your children's education. And most importantly, keep doing what's best for your kids. With that, I yield to the ranking member.